And also on the local front, the government is expanding its fuel tax cuts to ease the burden at the pumps amid the prolonged unrest in the Middle East. Our business correspondent Park Jun-han files this report.
In response to rising international oil prices, the government announced that it will raise the maximum price caps of domestic petroleum products slightly starting Friday. However, it will simultaneously reduce fuel taxes to ease the burden on the public. The announcement came on Thursday after President Lee Jae Myung held a second emergency economic meeting on the Middle East crisis.
In particular, we will place a strong emphasis on stabilizing diesel prices, which are essential for industry and logistics. We will newly include marine diesel under the price cap system and expand fuel tax cuts, increasing the reduction for gasoline from 7% to 15%, and for diesel from the current 10% to 25%. A larger cut than for gasoline.
Also on Friday, the government will enforce export restrictions on naphtha, a key feedstock widely used in petrochemical and other industries, particularly in the production of plastics.
First, to secure sufficient naphtha supplies, we will maximize imports by providing support to cover price differences for overseas purchases and ensure that naphtha is supplied as a top priority to sectors such as healthcare, key industries, and the production of essential goods.
The decision comes amid intensifying oil-driven impacts on the overall economy. For most people, an oil price hike is not a good sign. Higher energy costs drive up inflation, slow economic growth, and worsen trade balances. Central banks may have to keep interest rates higher for longer, raising the risk of an economic slowdown amid inflation, a scenario often referred to as stagflation. For Korea, a resource-poor nation with one of the highest oil dependencies among developed countries, every jump in oil prices increases national import costs. For ordinary citizens, the burden is heavy. Lower and middle-income households spend a bigger portion of their budget on fuel, heating, and transportation. As gasoline and utility bills rise, families cut back on other spending, slowing consumer demand. The government says it will continue to monitor the situation closely and stands ready to take additional steps if the oil shock worsens. Park Jun-han, ArirangNews.